So far, this seems like the most honest AI video that I have ever seen.
TV News, the average American can't figure out why they feel like absolute trash.
We go live to a triple boosted science truster who says,
It's just her genetics.
It's just genetic?
Yeah, literally. I never eat red meat. I switched to seed oils only because, duh, health.
Yeah, duh! As there are some very interesting maneuvers being made by this Trump administration that actually aren't too bad, as I wanted to take a break from talking about foreign policy, the foreign wars of aggression, and the insanity that we are being propelled into, to talk about all the latest domestic news that's also happening here inside of the United States. That is pretty big and pretty fast here, as we have a major Supreme Court decision. We have the censorship of the Vice President of the United States, and an FBI bombshell story about China interfering in our elections. What in the world is going on here? Well, we're going to talk about that and a lot more here on this independent media broadcast. If you appreciate honest conversation, subscribe, click the notification button, as of course we still all wait for what will Donald Trump do, as he announced that nobody knows what he's going to be doing, whether he will strike Iran or not. So far, it looks like all the signs are saying yes. But again, this is not what we're going to be talking about here, as Donald Trump also decided to self-fund a flagpole outside of the White House. Yes, President Donald Trump self-funded a $100,000 pair of 88-foot flagpoles. And this is when you know inflation is hitting an all-time high. Also, some surprising news surrounding the U.S. Federal Reserve banking system. We'll get into that, as Donald Trump announced. Yes, some major news. Everyone was like, wait, okay, we're doing this? Are we not doing this in the Middle East? No, it's a flagpole, and it's a pretty big flagpole. This as there's other people that are just also losing their minds, as Whoopi Goldberg just shocked the nation as she compared blacks in America to gay people in Iran, showing you just the idiocy of some people that really aren't paying attention to what's going on here, as in the making of people losing their minds surrounding that particular situation, we got a bombshell FBI report that is linking China to allegedly interfering in our 2020 elections. Yep, you heard that correctly. A report has come out that specifically highlights how China-made U.S. driver's licenses were sent to the Senate, as the FBI uncovered documents that allege China was linked to the production of fraudulent driver's licenses that were to be used for fake mail-in ballots supporting presidential candidates Joe Biden in the 2020 election, according to the FBI director Kash Patel. Yep. In a late Monday post on X, Patel said recently uncovered FBI documents detail alarming allegations related to the 2020 U.S. elections that Donald Trump believes were stolen from him. It was absolutely, quote, fortified by the establishment and Mark Zuckerberg tuning out hundreds of millions of dollars. But he says that there are allegations of interference by the CCP for the Chinese Communist Party, saying, quote, I have immediately declassified the material and turned the documents over to Senate Judicial Committee Chairman Charles E. Grassley for further review, he said. Mr. Patel posted a link to the news report that said an FBI intelligence report has raised concerns that Beijing made mass-produced fake American driver's license to skew the 2020 elections. As of course, there was record mail-in ballots that particular time. As very interestingly, the voter turnout for the Democratic political party in the last election dropped extremely low. I wonder why that is. I wonder why. Democrat voter turnout was so low compared to 2020 when they were doing all those mail-in ballots. As there are now going to be investigations into all of this. As, again, Donald Trump always claimed the elections were rigged against him, as Mr. Patel now is praising Mr. Grassley for oversight work and said that the FBI would continue providing, quote, unprecedented transparency. Now, this is a very serious allegation, and I hope to get to the bottom of this, since the 2020 elections have a lot of anomalies to it. Now, it used to be that if you brought this up, YouTube would put the hammer down. We're living in different times. You could question when Trump won. You could say Russia did it in 2016. You could question it now. Oh, no, wait, Trump won. That's fine. But that one, you question that one. The U.S. intel agencies told big tech to censor you, and they did. This is by NBC News that even is admitting this, saying Trump said China helped Biden get elected. That lie is something we're all paying for now. It should go without saying that manufacturing false allegations against foreign states to score domestic political points is not just wrong, but exceedingly dangerous. China certainly has waged influence campaigns abroad, including on U.S. soil, and the activities of its military hacking units are notorious. Further, U.S.-China tensions escalated significantly under President Donald Trump, so the allegations that Beijing tried to influence the 2020 election in Joe Biden's favor were on their face plausible. Yeah, if you look at what the Chinese did during Trump's first administration, it's very peculiar, okay? Since Donald Trump was actually talking tough against China, but now it looks like we are headed towards a full-on type of confrontation geopolitically. I said I wasn't going to talk about Iran. I'm not going to talk about Iran. Before talking about all the other news, the Supreme Court, J.D. Vance, the Federal Reserve, RFK Jr., just kicking some major buttocks, specifically when it comes to all of our health-related industries. Before getting into that, we wanted to tell you about wearechange.shop because I care about my health and I want to have a good legacy. I want to leave a good reputation. I want to make sure that I have a good positive effect on a lot of people, and that's one of the reasons I created wearechange.shop. It's my own shop. I like my shop. I just right now, before taking this video, took some magnesium glycinate. My body is so sore. I overdid it once again. You're getting older. Once you're getting older, you just can't push it without the help of supplementation. And again, like abs back. Oh, goodness gracious. Like I was just doing pull-ups. I was like, I want to do as many as I can. I couldn't do that many. And then I did very, very, very intense tactical training yesterday. And I am beat up. My body is just in full-on pain. My abs full-on pain. My back full-on pain. So you know what? I was like, I got to take some magnesium glycinate. I just took some magnesium glycinate. You know why? Because the new study reveals that taking magnesium glycinate for 10 days actually reduces your muscle soreness by up to 42%. I need all of that 42% now. I listen, I don't like to be dependent on a lot of stuff. We also have magnesium mist. I'm gonna start putting magnesium mist on my back and my abs because they are barely taking it out. As a new study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research explored how short-term magnesium glycinate supplementation affects muscle soreness and recovery. Over a 10-day period, healthy resistance training adults took 350 milligrams. You have 400 milligrams an hour, by the way, of magnesium daily, and they were subject to soreness-inducing eccentric bench press workouts. Researchers tracked soreness levels at multiple intervals post-exercise and compared them to a placebo group, and they found that taking magnesium has helped people not just grow muscles, but repair muscles very quickly. And that's important, especially the older you get. So magnesium glycinate right here on wearechange.shop. Scroll on down. And you, of course, could get it here. I just took some. I give a lot of my supplements to my family members, my loved ones. I believe in them. I take them myself before taking anything into your own body. Do your own homework. Do your own research. And you always want to slow crawl it. You always want to kind of slow walk it with anything, you know. I don't care what it is. I always take a more cautionary approach. And, you know, a lot of people are deficient in magnesium. Just check it out. Do your own homework. Do your own research. Now, let's get back to this China story. Fox News has the headline, Alleged Chinese Scheme to Influence 2020 Election for Biden Being Probed by FBI, Senate Judicial Committee. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here, as now we are also hearing reports that President Trump has a newly announced $499 smartphone that is expected to be manufactured in China. Is that true? Oh, boy. Some people are saying that this report is a lie, that the phone will at least be assembled in the United States. The fact that Donald Trump is launching businesses with his family during this time. Some people say he's a little questionable here. I don't knock the hustle here, and if people want to buy a product, they should be able to buy a product. As this administration is facing multiple questions about their cryptocurrencies and their involvement with other countries and investments. And you know what? At least they're doing it in a lot more transparent way comparatively to the Bidens that were doing secret, underhanded deals with China. Now, could I trust a phone made in China? The Chinese probably are going to put their spyware on it. So that's the only kind of legitimate concern that I would have on that. But at least we know what's going on here. You know, the Bidens, all of the Bidens were over in China getting all of the secret deals, getting all the money. No one batted an eye. No one said anything then. So as right now, we are getting censorship as J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States, just opened up a Blue Sky account that within 20 minutes of joining was suspended. Yes, the Vice President of the United States posted about joining the main rival to Twitter, X, Blue Sky. And he was suspended. 20 minutes. That's all it took for the Vice President of the United States. As he specifically... Now you got to ask yourself, what was he banned for? Was he triggering people? Was he offending people? Did he cause any kind of emotional harm to the leftoids? Yes. To any kind of rational, critical thinking human being that actually knows how to have an adult conversation? No. As Blue Sky, of course, officially reinstated the Vice President of the United States account less than 20 minutes after it was created. What did J.D. Vance talk about? Well, he talked about a new Supreme Court ruling that upheld Tennessee's ban on YouTube. Still has things that it still has limits on this particular topic, by the way. Transforming young kids. Okay. In adult ways that forever change them and create a situation. I gotta be careful here. Create a situation where their reproductive organs are flipped upside down. I have a nose here that just is tickling me. I apologize for my huge snozzle. Got a lot of nose hairs in there. Nice way to change the topic there, as this also happened. That doesn't include the war in the Middle East right now, as a lot of people are saying, oh, the Supreme Court actually did something, as they just ruled 6-3 that minors are protected from procedures that will change them for the rest of their lives. As NBC News is calling this a major setback for the rights of transformers, with more than 20 states having enacted similar laws similar to Tennessee. Now, the Supreme Court upholding this is actually, in my opinion, protecting these children from irreversible harm that has been done to them, all in the name of a woke leftist liberal ideology that, in my opinion, was creating more harm than good here. As this Supreme Court ruling couldn't come soon enough here, and domestically, when it comes to this particular issue, I think it's pretty clear here that the Trump administration is pushing in the right kind of cultural direction, even though a lot of the conversations about domestic policies have been kind of sidelined with exactly what is happening in the Middle East right now. But when it comes to these particular cultural hot button issues and these issues that affect our young children, I think this is a good move and an excellent move. Now, in other crazy health guidelines related news, the United States just scrapped their alcohol limit in favor of just a very vague guideline that says drink in moderation. A new report from Reuters is citing multiple sources revealing that the U.S. upcoming dietary guidelines will be probably dropping the long-standing recommendations that adults should limit alcohol consumption to 1 drink per day and 2 for men. I think that's stupid. Even drinking in moderation has shown to absolutely wreak havoc on the physical body, not just on your liver, on your brain, on your reproductive organs, on your overall health and well-being. Right now, a lot of young kids aren't consuming booze, and that's predominantly because they're not really going out. They have no one to have booze with, and it's not really a cultural trend here. And when you say, hey, just make sure you only have 2 drinks per day, or for a woman, 1 drink a day. If you do that, even if you just do that, right? A lot of people, oh, your government says I can have 1 drink a day, 2 drinks a day if I'm male. If you do that, look at the people in your life that are getting older and continue to drink. Look at their well-being. Look at their face. Look at their overall health. And look at the people who are not doing that anymore. There's a big difference. So the U.S. government dropping this guideline, good. I think that's the right decision to make here. As also, we got news that Walmart and Sam's Club will be removing most synthetic dyes from their private label products this year. Also, incredible. I think this is a great move forward, as now there are serious conversations about RFK Jr. shutting down all drug advertisements on national television. Now, CNN is reporting that this would leave broadcasters in financial straits, and in my opinion, good. They deserve to fail. Normally, I would argue for a free market policy here, and I'm always kind of a free market guy. I'm becoming more and more of a conservative the older I get, like everyone does. But when looking at this particular situation, the main reason I'm not arguing for free market because I think you should be able to do what you want. I think a lot of these rules and regulations are so stupid and idiotic. But when it comes to this particular one, they got money from me. They got my tax dollars during the COOF years that Donald Trump gave them. And then they used it to buy off politicians, and they used it to buy off government. That censored me with my own money. When I was saying, you should check your vitamin D levels. You should do your own due diligence. You should try to make sure your terrain, your body is as healthy and as ripe as it can be to deal with any kind of intrusive, genetically altered freaking virus. And if it wasn't for them having such a rigged system, if it wasn't for them creating so much human harm on the face of this earth, I would argue free market. Let them do what they want. But guess what? I don't give a damn about them, and they have long lost me. As Robert Malone, someone that I was just giving a speech with a few days ago, who, by the way, was just hired under the RFK Maha federal government system, came out and says, dead media walking. Good. They deserve to fail, and they deserve to fail epically. This AI video continues to get more crazier, by the way. I want to play a little bit more. I can't help myself. Even though, listen, there's a lot of bad stuff in the Middle East. This right here, major victories. Pushing this, investigating, doing double-blind placebo studies, allowing people to actually be able to do treatments and alternative things surrounding well-being. That right there, already huge major victories. And listen, when things are done good in government, we have to appreciate. We have to say, this is good. When bad things happen, we have to call it out. You know, some people, sadly, they like to play party politics, and no matter what they do, it's always bad. Oh, it's always good. No, it's horrible. No, it's the best. Oh, no, I love this guy. I hate this guy. Black and white. Okay, that's not how the world is. The domestic stuff that they're doing in this administration, critically important, game-changing. Foreign policy, horrible. And I think it's important to have those honest type of nuanced conversations. And if you appreciate that, subscribe. I'm going to play the rest of this clip because this is hilarious. I loved watching this AI fake video because it really just hits them on the head when it comes to the insanity that so many of us are kind of forced to deal with. And it kind of highlights the very kind of ironic type of decisions that a lot of people are making that are just so dumb.
And here I am.
We're here with a man who's just glowing from head to toe. Sir, what's your secret to your health?
Statins and blood pressure meds. Hold up, I'm about to have a heart attack.
Heart disease on the rise. Cholesterol's bad. Well, you should do some research into that.
What's your secret?
Just avoid the sun. I have skin cancer. That's why I do this.
Good thing they
Yeah. Leather up in those chemicals there, Karen.
listen to their doctors. Not much more they can actually do.
Yeah. You just obey. Be a good slave here. Don't look at your diet. Don't exercise. Don't sleep. Yep, just listen to the medical professionals.
Let's thank Big Pharma for being the main source of funding of all of our propaganda.
Cut them off now. Every last one of them. Cut them off. I'm so excited about RFK doing this. Look, we got RFK on the shirt here. Let's go.
Sponsored by Pfizer, the largest criminal organization to ever do it.
We promised to take the red dye out of the Skittles. Oh, thank God. Red dye was the real emergency. Let's not talk about the other colors, the fluoride, the chemtrails, and the deadly mRNA altering our DNA.
Yeah,
Back
don't
to you,
talk
Jenny.
about that.
Thanks, John. We're here at the local 7-Eleven and want you focusing on what's in the candy. And this way, you won't notice the rising autism and heart disease in children.
Well, autism and
Liver disease, cancer, too, all the way, skyrocketing up.
child heart disease isn't that big of a deal. It's not like the jab causes turbo cancer or
Yeah.
anything. Jessica goes live to find out how to prevent it.
How are we going to prevent cancer?
Do you know how much commission I make off chemo treatment?
Yeah.
Next question.
What's the best way to stay healthy in today's world?
The key to getting healthy is lowering your cholesterol. Trust me, I'm a doctor.
Look, just
Insanity.
trust your fat doctor. He once watched a 1-hour lecture on nutrition.
If there's a fat doctor, I'm walking out the door. RFK, by the way, is making sure that medical doctors are going to have to do a lot more research and studying into nutrition, and I think that's beautiful. If you think it's beautiful, share this video with your friends and family members. I appreciate you guys subscribing, clicking the notification button. Atlas appreciates it too. Look at her. Look at her. She's trying to sleep. Atlas. Yeah, she got the side eye. Say hi, Atlas. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange.